Bam! Right there. How's it going, guys? Token vaping. So today's juice review is unfortunately a final flavor in another set from a company that I had the pleasure and honor of getting to do a review for. But as you know, I do have a few newer ones in the works, and I'm trying to just keep my rotation on an ongoing basis. Things have been a little rough, with my day job and stuff like that, with schedules shifting around. So just bear with me. Everybody's been really supportive and really helpful and trying to keep things going. So I'm grateful for that. However, the company that I am doing the review for is Susquehanna Artisan E-Juice. It's susquehannavapers.com if you want to go to their website. They are based right by the Susquehanna River Basin in Pennsylvania, I believe it's at. Beautiful, beautiful area from pictures, and when I was really little, I know I've been to that area. I may not have been to, their specific part of the woods, but it stretches quite a bit. But in the particular area, the whole thing, just from going back in history, the one thing that everybody's prided themselves on mainly is just the passion, the quality, the focus that they've put into their trademarks, their wares, their things that they have offered the community, the things that they offer the people who come to visit, that order from them, things like that. Just, it doesn't matter what it is either. Whatever it is that they're making or whatever they're offering, they put as much into it as possible, and it's just something that the area has become known for. So why should this be any different? If you, like I said, if you check out my other videos, you'll understand the quality that does get put into this. It's also about what they believe should be, as far as the importance of the vaping, the importance of the quality of the flavor, the juice, where the ingredients come from, things like that. It's their purpose and their mission for them to make sure that what they're putting out puts a lasting effect on whoever vapes it in a positive way. So they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. You can email them directly. Definitely check them out. This flavor is called Busta Limes, and I was kind of skeptical at this first, actually, because it's a raspberry key lime pie, which will be interesting. I'm not a huge raspberry fan, and it's actually been a little bit since I've tried anything with raspberry in it. But mixed with a key lime pie, it's gonna be a bit of a strong flavor between the two. I'm going to assume. Now, this is the bottle. It is safety sealed, so this is a first vape, first review, and you are going to watch me on my first journey of this. Has a warning ingredient labeling. The warnings on this side, and with the ingredients, this side gives a little blurb on the company itself. It is a 30 ml bottle in a 3 nicotine. Now, this does come in a options of 30, 60, and a 120, and a 0, 1.5, a 3, 6, and a 9. So depending on, I just want to verify before I misinform anybody. No, I stand corrected. You can get the nic levels in any of the sizes, as you are all aware, due to a lot of regulations and things going on like that. Companies are going with bigger bottles in a fewer different options for nic levels. It just overall makes it a bit easier, things like that. Me personally, I like to believe that it's more because we're focusing on flavor, and it's not about how much nicotine you can cram into a bottle. But to be truthful, it has a lot to do with what's going on outside the vaping itself. So if you haven't contacted any of your congressmen, your senate, anything like that, or joined any of the vaping advocacies, please do so. The more people that keep continuing to do it, the better chance we have of making this, doable without having a bunch of headaches and problems involved with it. Enough said with that. This is Busta Lime. This is from Susquehanna Vapers. Like I said, this is a first vape, first review, which is going on Fresh Cotton here, which, as always, Texas Tough Cotton. I just like the way it works, just plain and simple. Break-in time on it really is non-existent. I literally have had maybe 2 or 3 flavors that I've come across that I've had to actually vape a little bit to get it fully through the cotton. For the most part, it's pretty much become, or pretty much is just straight flavor. I've started doing a couple of vapes on the first, and then I'll do one or two follow-ups just to make sure that I'm not missing anything out on the flavor itself. But that's just to be on the safe side. So on the first inhale, yep, it's definitely got a very, very definitive key lime pie or lime flavor. So it will be interesting to see which flavor actually takes precedence on this. If it's going to be the lime pie aspect of this, or if it's going to be the raspberry. Now it does state that there is supposed to be a graham cracker crust in this as well. Honestly, the pastry aspect, especially when you're doing it in a pie version, is definitely not easy to make apparent. I'm sorry, I kind of got tripped up on what word I was trying to go for. I've had a lot of like cheesecake or pie flavors where the flavor itself has been phenomenal, with the exception of the fact that you just don't get a lot of the pastry aspect, because it seems like either you're going to taste it or you're not, but if you taste it, it's definitely going to be strong, and I guess they're trying to avoid that so that they make it more of a just a hint of, because that's not the main star of the flavor, which does make sense. I mean, it does happen. I haven't heard of many people complaining that, you know, because they couldn't taste the pie crust or the crust aspect of the flavor, that it made the flavor completely non-vapable. But it does help if it does come out a little bit, because it just helps in adding into the more realistic of a flavor that you get out of it, I guess. Okay, so that's juiced up. Go ahead and pop my cap back on. And as always, that's 75 watts. So this is Busta Limes from Susquehanna Vapor. Clouds on this entire line have been pretty solid. So if you are a cloud chaser, obviously they may not be as dense as some that you're used to, but for the everyday vapor, they're more than adequate. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple more drops and do one or two more vapes on this, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything on this, so that I don't misinform you and tell you either something doesn't pop in this, or that you don't get something, or get something that you may not, just to be a little more informative about it. Okay, so flavor-wise, and I will tell you right now, I am very impressed with the fact that the raspberry flavoring is not super strong. I'm not a fan of the flavor. I've had a few that have been really, really strong with raspberry, to the point of where, although the vape itself was decent, the raspberry was just too much for me. This is more of a raspberry. If I had to put this into anything, I would say this, the way that this vapes, it tastes more like a key lime pie with like a raspberry topping, and then the crust part on the end. You definitely get a hit of raspberry right at the beginning, but then it literally goes straight into the key lime pie effect. The exhale is really, really nice, because the aftertaste, at least for me, and everybody's different, everybody has a different sensitivity to flavors, and everybody has a different vaping style, and it also depends on the wattage that you vape at as well. But the tail end of it, for me, I pick up just enough of the crust that it literally feels like the aftertaste after you've actually eaten, you know, a pie that has a graham cracker crust, because that's basically the last thing you'll probably taste. So the fact that they were able to get all three flavors into the one is actually really cool, and it is impressive. But you do taste enough of the raspberry and the key lime to make it what it should be, instead of a variation of what you're expecting, so to speak, if that makes sense. It's definitely a key lime pie, but there's enough raspberry, like I said, that it tastes like a topping, and the graham cracker crust actually does have a little bit on the aftertaste to finish it up. It definitely works. The clouds are decent. The flavor is solid. There's absolutely no throat hit. It is smooth as silk, and that's off a fresh wick, as you just saw. So it's definitely an all-day vape worthy mention. But definitely check them out at susquehannavapor.com. They are on Instagram. They are on Facebook. You can email them directly. Guys, thank you so very much for the opportunity to review your line. It has been a huge privilege and honor. Having grown up on the East Coast myself, it's always nice to be able to throw a little bit of love back that way when I can. As always, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Anything that I can do myself to help further enhance your vaping experience and make it more enjoyable, that's the only reason why I'm doing this. So definitely reach out to me if there's any questions, comments, concerns that you might have, any particular video that you're wanting to see. I will definitely do everything in my power to make that happen. But until next time, morning, noon, or night, no matter what, always truly love yourself. Vape on, vape strong, guys.